You know I love you.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
So why keep doing this to both of us? You know you got me so bad.
Hello my lovelies, hello my friends. A little disclaimer, I'm currently sick right now, so that's why I'm being so quiet, and that's why I sound a little bit off, because I'm sick. Apparently I only have time to film videos when I'm sick, because I feel like I'm always filming videos on here while I'm sick. So I disappeared again. I feel like this is just a story of every video. Life is chaotic, and while I wanted this summer to be my content creation summer, it was and it wasn't. I did a lot of content creation on Instagram and Pinterest, and I would say more May through June was when my content creation was at its best. But then the summer was actually really hard in some ways. I got a new chronic illness diagnosis actually, which inhibited a lot of my function this summer and made my life really hard, if we're being honest. And I'm still struggling with it, of course, this chronic illness. But I know the last video I filmed was my May and June wrap-up, and I think it was one of the first few days of July, and now it is October 2nd. And I've actually made a lot of changes, so why don't we do like a little, should I do a life update segment? I will. I have wanted to be a doctor for a very, very long time, but I'm also very chronically ill. And my health issues are a genuine struggle. It's been really hard. I have been starting to realize over the past month back at school, it's my grade 11 year, so my junior year, I've been starting to realize I can't be a doctor if I need all the doctors. I've wanted to be a doctor for so long, but school is such a struggle for me. I have switched between online and in person over the past year just because of how bad my health has been, and I've done hybrids and stuff, and honestly neither is made for me, and in-person school is quite literally just not made for teenagers with chronic illness. It's kind of made me realize I can't do this. Not booktube, I love booktube. If I could do booktube as a career, I would. This repetitive cycle I'm in where I have a flare up with my health and I miss like 5 days of school, and then I catch up again, and then I flare up again, and it's just again and again, and I have to catch up, and I feel like I spend my whole life catching up. I kind of came to the realization that maybe I don't want to catch up anymore. Maybe I don't want to take a lot of hard science classes and AP classes, and maybe I want to do something else with my life, like a career that is more in my abilities with the current struggles I'm facing, because I've also come to the realization that this isn't going to go away. It might later on in life, but over the next 4 years, it most likely will be still sucking. So when I'm 20, I won't be all better, and when I picture myself at 20, I've always pictured myself a completely successful med student, but I'm gonna have chronic illness, and being a med student with chronic illness is possible, but it would be a struggle, and do I want to struggle more? Not really. So I've decided, that was basically a really long explanation of why I've decided I want to go into a career in English. So a lot of people who are good with maths and sciences normally aren't super great with creativity, but I am a bit of a gifted child, and I would say I'm even better with English than I am with math and science, though I love all of them. So I've decided, for the moment, I'm in grade 11, junior year. I still have a lot of time to decide, but I don't really want to be not sure at the moment, because I have so many things I want to do, so for me, that's not the issue, picking what I want to do. It's what I'm capable of doing. I'm really passionate about pursuing maybe an associate's degree in creative writing, and trying for the life of me to get published and to write. I've always been a writer. I don't talk about it a lot, but I will be. Peyton and Books is going to go down the author tube, writer tube life a little bit, because I feel like readers and writers are very much alike, because you know they need each other quite literally. So that's what the other video I'm going to be yapping about and filming today is. I don't know when it'll get out, but I think I'm just going to be yapping about writing projects, to be honest, and premises and like things I'm really passionate about writing. And I think I'm just going to geek out as a writer, because I hadn't let myself do that, because I was like, I'm going to be a doctor. I can't pursue this, but now maybe I can. So that's a huge change that has like I've been dealing with for the past, like, technically I made the actual decision and told my parents and everything this month. I have been probably thinking about this for 8 months, so it's been a while. And the real ones on Instagram kind of know, my bookstagram besties. Yeah, but there's also been like other changes in my life going on. Like my immune system is very weak right now, and in the past 3 weeks I've gotten sick 3 times. My immune system's always been like this, but another reason why I'm like, maybe I can't take AP Physics right now. But I have been reading a little bit too. I haven't been reading a ton. So normally, on average, I read 7 books a month. Like if it's an average reading month, I'll read about 7 books. It's been 3 months. And though I've read a lot of really good books, I've only read 10 of them, which in 3 months, that is less than I normally read. To be fair, I read 10 of them in 2 months, because with September, a lot was happening with my own realizations, as we just talked about. 4 of them were 5-star reads, and I feel like that's a pretty good ratio, 4 5-star reads out of 10 books. I also read a lot of books that sucked, but 4 5 stars makes the books that sucked very much worth it. Also wouldn't say I've been in a reading slump in September. I haven't read a book through all of September, but I've constantly been wanting to read. That has not been the issue. Let's get started with this little reading update. I started July by finishing up Sidelined Love by Emery Page. This book started off so strong, but by the end I was so done with it. So I rated it 3.5 stars. I really like the premise of the university chess club captain and hockey player. Like, we have our book girly chess club captain, and then we have our athletic hockey player. I eat that stuff up. I'm sorry. It basically just put the popular guy and the geeky dorky girl together, and I will eat it up every time, because I want that to happen in my own life. I was super invested in the beginning. I cannot for the life of me remember these characters' names or what happened for most of the book. I love the university vibes of this book, and honestly it was set up for such a great plot for the majority of the book, and then it pulled what I like to call an icebreaker at the end, and that's when you're kind of just like fed up and you're like, this is not what I like in the romance genre. I don't know if I would suggest it, mainly because I can't remember it. There's this real audio going around.
And he told me something I will never forget. He said, I forgot what he said. Yeah, that is me, with every book I've ever read. Okay, I actually did a lot of rereading, because I've been a rereading girly lately. Okay, Home Run Proposal, and I had been just craving rereading this book for the characters, because it was about a dorky, geeky girl with a podcast and a YouTube channel, and just really interesting taste and curly hair. Does that sound familiar? She was obsessed with aliens though, and
let's be honest, I'm more the Strawberry Shortcake girl than a Aliens girl, if that sums it up, you know what I mean. This is a good time. It's about Hallie girl, Haley girl, I don't know, Lane, a guy named Lane. The names are really good in this book to me. I don't know how to say them, but I like them. And the premise is really cute, and it's about a baseball player, and it's some of the tropes that I really loved about this book is it's like he thaws thirst, and it's kind of like he's always had a crush on her trope, and he's like the guy who she's like, he would never want me, and then he's always had a crush on her, like since they were kids. I'm in love with that trope, okay? Then I read The Bad Boy and the Tomboy. Don't even, okay? Don't even, okay? And yes, I did rate it 5 stars. This was a Wattpad romance that got traditionally published by Wattpad Books. Can you tell by the title? Was it so good? Yeah. My review is literally just, I'm gonna read the cringe romance and I'm gonna eat it up. Because, that is me in a sentence. Yearbook quote, guys. The Bad Boy and the Tomboy was about a female and a male soccer player. And they kind of hate each other at first. And it's kind of like a light enemies to lovers plotline, and then they're like besties. And the banter is incredible. It's such Wattpad banter and I love it. Oh my goodness, the tropes are incredible. I'm not like other girls. People hate this trope apparently. Like so much, and it annoys them so much. I would know because I have a romance book club with my friends. And we read a book and they were like, the girl is such a pick-me. The whole book she's like, I'm not like other girls. And I'm like, you don't like that. Let's just be real. I'm a pick-me. I'm gonna be like, I'm not like other girls because I genuinely feel like I don't belong in this world. You know what I mean? This book was 5 stars. Please just go read it, okay? It's not even that long. It's so good. You have to like, okay, don't go into it looking for like fine literature, obviously, but like, I read another YA book called The Best Laid Plans. I rated it 4 stars. I ended up really liking it. Romances rarely have like plot twists that I don't see coming, because that's not what romances are for. In my opinion, like, they're meant to be predictable. That's what a romance is. That's why I read romance. But this one had a little bit of a plot twist that genuinely surprised me. Did I really like the friends to lovers trope? Yeah, I did. And I rarely like friends to lovers because I get bored, but I think the plot twist kind of inhibited me from getting bored with this book, and I would recommend it. I read an audiobook. I didn't read a lot of audiobooks over the past 3 months. I think I only read one. Amy Leah. She wrote Set on You and X's and O's, and I've read both those books and I actually liked both those books. Hold on. Hello? Yes, I have an appointment tomorrow. I was actually wondering if there's any days I could reschedule the appointment to later this week by chance. Is there anything next week? Till November. Okay. I am actually currently very, very sick. So I might have to book a November appointment. Do you have anything the next week? I just have family visiting. I cannot do that either. Do you have anything? Then I will take the 12th if that's the soonest. Yes, wonderful. Thank you. I don't know, man. I'm just a chronically ill girl. Okay, so The Catch, I read it on audiobook. It was actually very not enjoyable for an audiobook, and probably the book I liked the least in the series. I didn't love X's Nose though. I just liked Set on You so much that I had found I keep reading the rest of the series, but I don't like them. I just keep hoping another book will be like Set on You, and maybe I was just in a different reading mood when I read Set on You and my taste had changed, but I genuinely remember loving it so much. Now, I actually went to Barnes & Noble in the States because I live in Canada and I can like drive to the States, so why is my family messaging about tacos? So this is the Fiancé Dilemma. I bought it. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and I thought when people were talking about the Barnes & Noble stickers, they were just like making a big deal about how much they hated stickers on their books, but they actually do not come off. I had been living a privileged life because the indigo stickers do. 5 stars, guys. 5 stars. It was better than the Spanish Love Deception, and I rated the Spanish Love Deception 5 stars. I read this because of the Spanish Love Deception, and it was better. The review is really short because I've gotten into writing really short reviews on Goodreads because I don't have time. So I just said 5 stars. This book's made me go tee because like tee, you know, like that's just when you're reading you're like tee because it's just like it's just how you feel. Elena Armis, she's the best author like ever. I need to read all her books. I need to read The Long Game right now. I just haven't gone to Indigo. Oh, I have actually. I've been 3 times. I've gone to Indigo on a budget 3 times, so you get it. And the chemistry in this one was probably the strongest chemistry any of them have had. Oh my goodness, I just got a grade. Apparently I'm really popular right now. What did I... Oh my goodness. I got 100% on an English assignment. This book has a very unique premise. It's about a girl who's been engaged to be married, I think 4 or 5 times. I can't remember exactly, but a lot of times. And she has this whole media scandal going on because of who her father is. This book was different than other romance books because the final goal was not marriage. It was, but it wasn't. It's just love. And if you had described it to me that way, I don't think I would have read it. But it was so all-encompassing love. And there was this one line in this book. I didn't even annotate it. I just went through it so fast. There was this one line that the guy said at one point, and it was something like, "It's okay if it hurts for a while. I will hurt so you don't have to." And I was like, if a man ever said that to me, I would wipe him. Wait, please read it. Just please read it. You have to read it. If you love Elena Armis, you're gonna love this. Then I had a signed reading. I hate a signed reading because this was a signed reading for French. I like a signed reading for English sometimes. Even that, don't always like it. This was a signed reading for French. This book is called La Route de Shlita. The Road to Shlita is basically what it is. First of all, this was about a person of color, a child of color, in war. This was written by a Quebecois white woman, so that was our first red flag. Second of all, why were they sexualizing females and teenage girls like every 5 seconds? But I did rate it 3 stars, and you're like, Peyton, how is it not 1 star? It was for almost all the book, and then I got to the end and it made me cry. But that's genuinely just because it's the saddest matter to talk together. A child in war losing it, like, that is so sad. And that is a reality that is very hard to face, that is happening in the world still, and I cried for that reason. And then I read The 7-Year Slip. I read it as a physical book, but I am lending my copy out to my friend because my romance book club is actually currently reading this novel. I rated it 5 stars. My review is pretty short, and all it says is love is in a lemon pie and yellow books that sit on your shelves for months before you pick them up, because I love this book so much. I loved Iwan so much. I loved the characters, I loved the grief, I loved everything this book delved into. It felt like an Emily Henry book, and I loved Emily Henry books so much. You probably have heard of the premise, so I'll just summarize it really brief. It's about an apartment that can time travel 7 years into the past or future, and she falls in love with someone 7 years in the past, and it's really beautiful. This was my first Ashley Poston book. Ashley Poston writes like romance with like mystical fantasy. It's not fantasy, but mystical like realism in it. I can't remember what the genre is called, but basically you're in a real world. It's not a fantasy world at all. It's just these magical things happen, and it's just like, yeah, they can happen. Yeah, there's like, it's no one's questions it, and I love it. Also the writing's so fluid, so beautiful. I wish I could write like that. And then I read a novella that was terrible, and I rated it 2 stars. Even lower than La Route de Schlieve, and I thought that was impossible. Yeah, so this was a hockey novella called Same Time Next Year by Tessa Bailey. I love Tessa Bailey books most of the time, like Fix Her Up. I actually really love that series, and I haven't read the whole thing, but the 2 books from it I have read were both very high rated. I'm reading My Killer Vacation and stuff right now, and I like Tessa Bailey's writing. What I don't think she can write is hockey romance, at least not as someone who reads so much hockey romance. It wasn't very good to me. It was also a novella, but mainly I had problems with like everything. So that. They had to get married so the Canadian hockey player who was playing in the US wouldn't get deported back to Canada. It sounds good in premise. Okay, to most people that wouldn't sound good, but it sounded good to me. And I was like, Tessa Bailey, hockey, short book. Nope. And then I read Just Don't Fall, which was a reread. I read it this year for the 3rd time, so the fact that I'm rereading it within the same year is kind of a big deal to me. And I rated it 5 stars the first time, and my reread was also 5 stars. This book takes place in a small fall town that to me feels a lot like Stars Hollow, and it's a hockey romance. It's probably the best hockey romance I've read this year, I'm gonna be honest, and it's brother's best friend, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite tropes ever. You have to read this. Basically the premise is this guy who played through the NHL has been sent down to the AHL team. I don't understand how hockey works, okay? So don't ask questions, please. But he's been sent down to the AHL team, and basically on the AHL team, he has to do, it's like that baseball group that does the TikToks and stuff. He has to do TikToks because that's what this team is known for, and he has to do like TikTok dances. And Parker, the girl, is a social media manager, and he does not want to do TikTok dances. Basically Parker's job is to make Logan, the guy, the hockey player, do TikTok dances, but they also know each other because when he left the town the AHL is in, like a long time ago, he was best friends with Parker's older brother, and he was really close with Parker, and it was really traumatizing to everyone. And now he's back, and there's all this trauma to unpackage, and they end up fake dating. That's all you need to know, okay? You have to read this book. It's also fairly short. It's amazing. Probably yeah, I'm just gonna be honest, it's the best book I've read this year. Not counting rereads. That was the last one, guys. My battery's gonna die. We have gone over so many books, but thank you for being here, lovelies. I love you so much. You're the best. This bookstagram community on Instagram, on Pinterest, YouTube too, it's literally my joy in life. You guys are everything. You make me so happy. I love making these videos. You just make me so happy. So thank you for being here. I've got a lot of other content coming up soon, but my battery's gonna die, so we're not gonna rant about it super much. Follow me on Pinterest, Elizabeth without the H, and follow me on Instagram, Peyton and Books. I have my Life YouTube channel, Peyton Crawford, which I'm kind of doing a whole upkeep, like changing things thing with it, where it's gonna be a little bit different because, yeah, I don't know when, but eventually. Happy fall, y'all. I'm so happy. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Bye.